A police shooting happened over the weekend in Kenosha, Wisconsin. The media is reporting it biasedly and out of context. We're going to take a look at the story. There's a video I can't show you, but we're going to look at stills, and we're going to look at some of the context in this video that's being completely ignored by the media. Let's look at the story. From the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel. Kenosha police shoot man. Video of incident appears to show officer firing several shots into his back at close range. Kenosha police shot a man Sunday evening, setting off unrest in the city after a video appeared to show the officer firing several shots at close range into the man's back. The shooting victim has been identified as Jacob Blake, a black man, by Wisconsin officials. I hate that they have to say that. Yes, it's factual. He's a black man. But it has nothing to do with the circumstances of why he was shot. That statement included, at its worst, is a racist statement. At its best, it's a statement to enrage and anger you. It's presenting a fact that has nothing to do with the circumstances of the story. The Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel is actually pretty good about this. Let's just take a quick look. If we search Wisconsin shooting, Washington Post, video shows Wisconsin police shooting a black man multiple times as he enters a car. Again from the Washington Post, Kenosha, Wisconsin, police shoot black man getting into a car, video shows. CNN, Wisconsin shooting, Kenosha police shoot black man as children watch. NPR, Wisconsin police shooting leaves black man in serious condition. USA Today, Jacob Blake protests erupt after black man shot by Wisconsin police. This has nothing to do with his race. None of this had anything to do with the fact that he was black. We need to stop this clickbait, false narrative journalism. Let's get back to it. The Wisconsin Department of Justice's Division of Criminal Investigation said early Monday that the involved officers had been placed on administrative leave. It's fairly common practice for any time an officer has to discharge a weapon. Police had been called to a domestic incident in the 2800 block of 40th Street at 5:11 p.m. where the shooting later occurred. Officers provided immediate aid to the shooting victim, Kenosha police reported, and he was taken by Flight for Life to Froedtert Hospital. Quote, "Tonight, Jacob Blake was shot in the back multiple times in broad daylight." Why does that matter? Wisconsin Governor Tony Evers said in a statement, quote, "While we do not have all of the details yet, what we know for certain is that he is not the first black man or person to have been shot or injured mercilessly, killed at the hands of individuals in law enforcement in our state or country." Talk about a governor who just throws the police under the bus. By the way, he's a Democrat. I don't know if it's trying to get the leftist vote to stay in office. I don't know how many terms he's served, but he throws the officers under the bus and immediately says that they mercilessly killed a man. This is insane. The Kenosha News reported that neighbors said Blake was trying to break up a fight between two women. Bystanders said that he was tased and then shot several times. That's important. Tased and then shot. That means that the police slowly escalated things. We'll look at the stills from the video. A video circulated on social media shows a man in a white shirt and black shorts walking to a gray van, followed by two male police officers with weapons drawn. The video does not show what happened before the man walked away from the officers, nor what was said, if anything. That's not entirely true. You can hear everyone shouting, including this man's friends, maybe the ladies involved, I don't know. Everyone is yelling at him to stop walking. Even his friends. As the man opens the doors to get in, an officer grabs his shirt to hold him still, then appears to shoot him in the back at close range. 7 shots are heard, followed by a car horn, presumably from the man's head falling forward. Okay, we gotta look at some of the stills from this video. This image comes from the beginning of the video. We can see that on the passenger side of that gray van, that there are 3 police officers with their guns already drawn on the man when he begins walking away from them. As the video continues, you can hear the officers and bystanders, maybe other people involved, all of them are yelling at him to stop what he's doing, stop walking away. I'm not certain. But he's already walking away from officers who already have their guns drawn. As he continues to walk away, the officers follow him. You can see in this shot with their guns. They follow him from the passenger side of the vehicle to the driver's side of the vehicle. There is plenty of time for this man to change his mind from doing whatever he's doing. He's been given plenty of time to cooperate and stand down. And then we can see in this photo, the officer has physically tried to restrict him, has a hold of his shirt. He's leaning forward pretty hard, resisting the physical arrest of the officer, resisting the physical detaining from the officer, still trying to get into his vehicle after something. At this point, after he's already resisted arrest, already walked away from the officers, gone to get into his car or get something out of his car. We don't know what he was doing. We don't have that context. There's not a lot of good reasons to be doing any of that right now. We do know there's a warrant for his arrest. We'll talk about that in a minute. But there is no reason for this man to be walking away from officers who already have guns drawn and trying to get into his vehicle. At this point, we see that the cop has physically tried to restrain him, and at this point, I don't know if the officers know what's going on. I don't know if maybe he said something, or maybe the officers are worried he's going to grab a gun or try to get away. But this is the point where they begin firing. There has been plenty of time for this man to cooperate with law enforcement. This is not the story of a man who was on a Sunday stroll and was just pulled over and shot because he was black. This is why journalism is dead. To write the story and title it with an emotionally aggressive clickbait title, to put in there the color of his skin when it has nothing to do with the circumstances of this, that is the critical thinking skills of a child. My child still thinks that M&Ms taste different because the colors are different. But they don't. They're all the same, and we're all the same, and if you're a good person, you're a good person. The police stop you, it sucks. Sure, maybe they have a reason, maybe they don't, but you comply, and you have the privilege of going to court to talk to a judge to see if your charges stand. You have the privilege to go to court and defend yourself. Yeah, it sucks, it's a bummer, you gotta take a day off of work. But either you're a good human and you go by due process, or you're a bad one and you run from the cops when they have their guns drawn on you. And I don't even know. This is insane. Okay, before you go out and riot, let's look at some more of the easily searchable details of this. If we look at the court case, we can see that he's charged with criminal trespass to dwelling, type A misdemeanor, domestic abuse, third-degree sexual assault. That's a rapist, by the way. Domestic abuse, disorderly conduct, and another charge of domestic abuse. This man has a history of assaulting police, domestic abuse, he's a rapist. I have to look at my list, it's so long. He had an active warrant out for his arrest. He previously pulled a gun in a bar with police involved, a firearm that was not licensed. This man was a criminal, and this information would have been given to the police if they ran his ID, if they ran his plate numbers, even reacting to the address. This happened on the same block that his listed address was on the warrant. These are things that the police officers would have known going into the situation. I have to ask the people who were protesting and rioting, this is your martyr? I understand that the news stories are emotionally aggressive and pull on your heartstrings, but what they should really read is they should be titled, "Police Shoot Rapist for Evading Arrest." That is what really happened here. This is only going to get worse. I hope I'm completely wrong, but I believe that this is going to be George Floyd 2.0. I think that you're going to see all of the riots, all of the leftist BLM, Antifa. I think it's going to go hard and strong really fast. But I blame the media for making stories titled with this narrative and painting the wrong picture just to get clicks on their website. That's why I started this channel. If you like what you're watching, hit the like button. I'll have more segments coming up very soon. This is nuts.